Joining us now from Drone Zones USA, then that name does just roll off, right? John Lee. John, thanks for being with us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What does Drone Zones do? I mean, I have a hint, but tell the folks out there.
One of the main things that I love to do is connect people with modern day technology. So anything that's a better way, saving time, money, or lives. Orthomosaic mapping and
what?
Orthomosaic mapping. Some of the things they were talking about in the early days of air travel, they were mapping and things with airplanes and aerial shots.
Oh, so, like him when Brian was talking about the little arrows.
Yeah, stuff like that.
They didn't have really good maps back in the day, did they?
No, and some of the first ones, they would send up balloons, even, and as she mentioned in the war, they were utilizing some of the first technology from up in the air, taking pictures and stuff like that for reconnaissance.
Now, right here in my hands, Brian, this is a picture of beautiful downtown Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I recognize some of these buildings, right? And what's wrong?
Lights went out.
No, they didn't. That's just you. Now, was this taken with one of your drones?
That was with a Phantom 4 Pro version 2.0. It's got a 20 megapixel camera, state of the art. DJI is definitely leading the industry with 70% of the market. So,
how'd you get permission to do that?
I'm actually a licensed Part 107 remote pilot, drone pilot, and I'm able to use the Lance system to connect with air traffic control remotely through my app. Yeah,
that's cool.
What used to take, and just on so many levels, what used to take thousands of dollars and worth of fuel and time and plane and all these resources. Now I'm able to do all that in a matter of minutes. So saves thousands.
That is awesome.
It really is. So that's where I started, was with real estate, just really showing and showcasing, and started doing roof inspections. But now I'm doing these map-like quality orthomosaics, which are hundreds of pictures stitched together to make one seamless,
almost like a
photo.
Video.
Yeah, so you wouldn't just have like one angle from like 100 feet. You would have all of these photos, which really allows for great inspection. You can inspect your whole property. It also makes 3D models, lets you move the whole project around, zoom in and out, and it's really interactive.
You know who needs to meet him? Is our friends with the goats. Because they send goats out to these places.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, I'll survey just about anything.
I think it'd be awesome.
But that's one of the cool things is I didn't realize how many industries and how much growth was really going on in this industry. So
how many drones you got?
I have 2 currently.
Okay.
So I'm still working on
Is that like a fleet? Is that considered a fleet?
No, his are state-of-the-art, I imagine.
They are.
He didn't buy these at Walmart.
No.
I'm guessing.
It's not one of the ones you can go buy for $49.50.
No, they're definitely in the thousands upward, which is still low grade.
You ever crashed one?
I have crashed a couple, and I have.
Does that hurt?
It hurts really bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm aching right now for you thinking about it.
Well, it's a learning experience, and
you don't do it often.
Well,
do you?
When we're talking about air travel, really with construction and all these professional industries, I mean, you could just look at that picture and it just screams, pay attention to safety. Keep safety your number one priority.
And how long would it take you to get up where you need to get to take this picture? Is this like a day's worth of work, an hour's worth of work, 2 minutes? What?
So in that particular shot, you can see the storm brewing off to the east, which was out in Blue Springs that particular day. But it takes me about 30 minutes to drive to town, and then about another 5 minutes to set up shop, put my request in for my airspace restriction approval, and then I'm up in the air within 10 minutes.
Is there any place you can't fly?
At her particular airport, right at airports.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Military type of airspace is definitely restricted for military operations, stadiums, football stadiums, sports stadiums.
Now, you do commercial as well as residential?
That's correct.
Okay. And you you're going to have to say it for me. Ortho what?
It's an orthomosaic map.
Orthomosaic map. I mean, if I'm a farmer with like 1,000 acres, might I have something done like as a cool picture of my property?
You could definitely do it as something that's a cool picture, but with agriculture and really all of these industries, there's the data that you're collecting that's really the most
valuable.
Yeah, the plant health. There's
what?
It will tell you the plant health. It will tell you there's different special applications through some of this specialty software through Drone Deploy that has applications specifically designed for helping.
So you're not just up there taking a pretty picture. You're able to tell them if their soybean crop is in trouble.
That's correct.
Well, I also heard that the drones are being used more and more and more in archaeology, and archaeology finds where they see, they discover something under the ground, but then when they send the drone up, they discover everything all around it. And then that's where they start to...
Yeah, they were discovering some of the Guatemalan ancient ruins by using some of the LiDAR technology, which is similar to a sonar.
So you can hook up LiDAR to your drones?
You can hook up LiDAR. You can use thermal cameras. You can use... they're used for search and rescue, heating and cooling leaks on commercial buildings. So it really does depend on what your specific...
Is this just mind-blowing?
And that penetrates the ground, right? So you can get a better idea.
Well, and the idea on that is... You'll fly over these rainforests and stuff, some of these areas that are just overgrown,
right?
And you just can't see because of the trees. But that penetrates the trees, and then it just starts showing these outlines.
If they would do this at the Skinwalker Ranch, that TV series would no longer be on. We wouldn't need to know because they would tell us, "Oh, there's something right there, buddy."
I don't even know what that is, but
people in the know.
But drones have evolved.
Correct.
How long have you been in this?
This is my third year.
So it's a relatively new kind of business. I mean, I know they've been around for, 10, 15, 20 years?
The interesting thing is they were actually first developed by the U.S. Navy back in the World War I.
What?
And Reginald Denny, the U.S. Navy, built one of the first quad drones that they used for military, and he's actually designed the first one that was mass-produced back in the 1940s, the first 15,000, but they were specifically for military.
That's astonishing.
World War I.
I had no idea.
World War II.
World War II. Okay. Better. That seems a little more plausible to us. I was thinking, well, then those trenches are of no value.
No, I think in 1937 is when they were originally working
1937.
on some of them. And then, so that just goes
of course,
to
they didn't have the plastics that we have today, so these things were big and heavy and bulky and expensive.
What do you see the future?
The future, and I've been studying this for a couple of years now, but we're just through volumetric measuring and first responders, we're able to get, resources to really secluded places. We're able to save thousands of dollars in time and money. But where we're going, I'm thinking, is obviously, roads in the sky. I know it sounds a little Jetson far-fetched.
No, I think Amazon's right with you, aren't they?
Well, they are actually. Walmart
Amazon
has actually been already approved
for delivery, right?
For delivery.
For delivery.
That's all I need is to see something hovering above me and dropping a package down on me. Probably kill me. This is probably how I'll go.
Well, as of
your
now,
new tennis shoes are in, sir.
Trying to keep everybody within line of sight is the typical FAA regulation. But some of those are already being approved and have been approved. I think
we get these things big enough, we're going to be sending people. You're just going to have one hook up to your
No, I'm
collar.
telling you, it could happen.
And that's where I'm seeing it going, because I've already seen stories where they actually are now renovating or redoing the ambulances to where they can actually get in a city block where a helicopter couldn't even get into these tighter spaces.
Sure.
So it will really help.
Plus, if think about this, if you've got a situation where, like the building that fell down in Miami a couple of years ago, you'd be able to send these down there, grab people up instead of worrying about if somebody's going to get hurt worse because we're sending the firemen in there. Send a drone in, grab them up, be like those little claws.
Got space for one person and one gurney. So,
but need more than that.
But with automated flights,
of course, the person's got to be able to crawl up into the gurney, I guess.
Right. That's why they got room for one medic and one person.
Oh.
That way they can assist them.
That's going to be a big drone.
They're actually about the size of a small little SUV. It's smaller than a current ambulance. they've already got some that are actually already built.
This is fascinating to me. You also train people to be drone pilots, is that right?
Yes. So I started teaching a course. It's a drone test prep course for those interested in doing this professionally, either commercially or residentially, at Fort Osage Career and Technology Center in Independence, Missouri. I'm offering